Welcome to the Regal Eagle Report. I'm Lasya.
I'm Nikhil.
And I'm Anjali, and we're your co-hosts.
We are Team 2869, a diverse and inclusive team located at Bethpage High School.
We're aiming for our podcast to be an outlet to interact with other teams and collaborate with varied ideas and thoughts.
We're so excited to introduce our brand new series where we will be interviewing one team from each state.
Embark on our journey as we will be aiming to hit every state and reaching our goal of 50.
For this week's episode, we'll be interviewing the Mukwonago BEARs from Wisconsin.
So please introduce yourselves as well as your position on the team. We will start first. My name is Anjali. I'm a current sophomore. I'm one of the CNC leads, and I'm part of the electrical team.
My name is Nikhil. I'm also a sophomore, and I'm the other CNC lead. And I also do mechanical and help with this podcast.
My name is Lasya. I'm a senior. I help with outreach and fundraising. So we'll start with our questions. Our first one is, how was your team founded? Like, what is its origin?
Yeah, so our team was founded in 2001 by a math teacher at our school, at our high school, and then a couple of GE healthcare engineers as well. And over time, they kind of got it started, got the ball rolling, and then some of our alumni who went through the program have continued to keep it going. And then now those are our lead mentors, are people that went through the program themselves.
Oh, sorry. Was there a story behind your team's name? If so, what is it?
So originally we started out when the team started as M Cubed or Mukwonago Masters of Machinery, and eventually over time that changed to the Mukwonago Bears. Not only is Mukwonago like the place of the bear, that's what the name means because it's a place where Native Americans were, but we created BEARS as an abbreviation for Building Extremely Awesome Robots.
Oh, I like that.
So that's what our name is currently, and I don't see any tracks of that changing.
So how many years has your team been part of FRC?
Yeah, so our team was founded in 2001, but our first season was the following year in 2002. So that leaves us on our 23rd year here in the 2025 season of FRC.
Nice. How many years were like each of you on it?
So this is my third year. I'm a junior, so I've been on it since my freshman year. So this will be my third season.
This is my fourth year. I'm a senior. I started in my freshman year.
I'm also a senior, so fourth year again. I started from the same year.
So where's like your school located? Like, is it big, small, a lot of people, a lot of team members, or not really?
So we're located in Mukwonago, Wisconsin, which is kind of a small-ish town, but we're located in like a bigger school district for our area. So on our team, we have 30 students, but our school has a little under 2,000. So we're big-ish, but definitely not huge or anything.
So how has your team helped increase membership from underclassmen?
So we do a lot of demos for a lot of local events in our area. So we've done open houses too, where we demo our robot, but we also go to like places like the middle schools, we go to elementary schools, and then we host FLL like competitions. So we host a regional and a sectional where we demo our robot there as well. And the intent of that is to get kids interested in robots and FIRST and everything younger, so that they can start in one of the earlier programs like FLL and work their way up through FRC.
So what are some ways that your team has gathered sponsors?
So we have a sponsor day, which isn't as much of a sponsor day anymore as it is like the entire preseason is us trying to procure sponsors, but sponsor day is when it starts specifically, and we have every single team member bring in at least 5 emails from companies that are in local industrial parks or wherever they can find. Sometimes it's not local. I think we've had like 1 or 2 sponsors from across the country. And from there, we just continue to help create those partnerships with businesses. And yeah, we've also done sponsor walks where we walk around our town and talk to the companies and their representatives personally. And that's yielded a lot of success in getting sponsors. So
who are some of your sponsors?
we have our biggest sponsors are places like Komatsu. So they make industrial, I think, mining equipment, very large industrial mining equipment. We have a place called Next Electric, which is sorry. Next Electric is a electric company that sets up electric, and they do a lot of like construction work and everything in our area locally. We have Tapco, which is a company that one of our lead mentors works for, and there are just to name some of our biggest sponsors.
Nice. So what are some like fundraising initiatives like throughout the year you guys host?
So we have been running our FLL regionals and sectionals. We host them almost every year. We've been doing our FLL regional for 20 some years, and then our sectional we do most years, but sometimes not. And we do concession stands at all these events, as well as like our big off-season event that we host. So concessions is our big one. We get a lot of profit from that just because we're able to, whoever wants food just buys it there and then we get the money. But we also do things in our community. So there's been a couple nights that we do like Qdoba nights or Culver's nights. It's a restaurant in Wisconsin. And for like one night only, they do a certain percentage of their proceeds go to our program. And they're like sponsoring us through that, but we're also able to get some money and fundraising from that as well. So, yeah.
Great. So now coming to the robot, how has your team's robot evolved over the years?
I'd say the biggest way that our robot has changed over the years is that we've gotten a lot better at iteration. So the robot itself actually just changes during the year a lot. Our lead mentor likes to say failing fast is how we do it. So we try to get the robot parts out. And if it fails, then we make a new design, we get that out, and then we go part to part to part. This past year we had that a lot with a turret and a pivot and an elevator that we didn't end up getting to, but we really go in the intake, especially we iterated multiple times. And we really just try to iterate until it's the best as possible each year.
So what new or different parts has your team added or bought for the robot, like a swerve drive?
I think the big thing that we've added to our robot new is limelights. This past year we swapped from photon vision to limelight, and we ended up using 5 limelights. Alongside that limelight, alongside one of those limelights, we also used the new Google Coral, which allowed us to do image AI processing to detect where notes are at any point. We also have had the opportunity to work with ThriftyBot this past off-season, and that's allowed us to use their new Thrifty Novas and any other part that they would like us to beta test.
Nice. So going back to outreach, do you guys like have any FLL teams or FTC teams you mentor, start, anything like that?
Yep, so we have, at least we try every year to have FLL teams. So these past couple years, we've been able to host 4 FLL teams each, or not each, but we have 4 FLL teams, and they practice out of our high school, and then we give them 2 mentors from our team, so high school students mentor those teams, and then since we host regionals and sectionals, our teams compete at those. So we give them practice space, we give them all of our, like the Lego Spike kits, and then we help them with like tournament registration costs and mostly just mentoring. So we've been able to have 4 the past couple years, but obviously trying to continue to grow that into bigger numbers. But yeah, that's what we've been at. So, but no FTC yet. We've seen more of a need for FLL in our area, not as much for FTC. So it's always something we're trying to work towards, but we're more geared towards FLL currently.
So what are some major outreach initiatives your team has taken? So any local or international initiatives?
So I'm gonna start with local. Our like biggest outreach initiative locally that we do is we hold a off-season competition called Embark. What is that? Mukwonago's robotics off-season competition.
Yep.
That's what it stands for. And that's something where teams all across the Midwest of the United States come to attend. Alongside that, during the preseason, we hold, like I said earlier, a Lego regional and a Lego sectional, both in our facilities and in our schools. And then finally, our last big local one is our BSA, our Boy Scouts of America and Girl Scouts badge event that we hold every summer, where we have a set of Boy Scouts come in to earn robotics themed badges. I think it's like programming and robotics merit badges. And then Girl Scouts come in and they do the same thing. So they're two separate events held in tandem with one another, allowing for more outreach in our area. And then our big international outreach that we've put a lot of work into and is slowly evolving over the past couple of years is our initiative Bear Bites. That was a Discord server that was designed for anyone and everyone to come to get help with programming needs. And I think this past year is when we decided that we're going to start extending that to not only other teams, but we're going to start changing the format of that to just a means of, especially in person, all teams to come and get help for whatever problem that they have, to hopefully help with a lot of connections between robotics teams.
So we know your team received the Chairman's and the Impact Award, so congratulations for that. And what year did you guys win these awards?
Yeah, thank you. So in 2024, the past season, we won First Impact. And then the year before, we got Engineering Inspiration, so EI. So 2023 and 2024, we got the 2 Impact Awards.
And what initiatives do you think really led to your team winning these awards?
Yeah, so everything that he talked about earlier, we think helped us win that award, but also some of our other initiatives. We do some initiatives like our workshops. So we go to different places and then we basically present about a topic that we're really familiar with in order to help other people be familiar with it. So we do that at our off-season event, Embark. We do it at our FLL kickoff, or not FLL, our FRC kickoff event that we host in January. And then there's also this thing in our area called WCTC FRC's Training Day that we also help run, and we host workshops there. So we facilitated 25 workshops, or we presented 16 and then facilitated 25 workshops in the past 3 years. So that was a big initiative that we do. We also have our Society of Women Engineers chapter on our team. So that was with some of our Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts summer camps that we hold. We also do Lego summer camps in the summer. So we help younger kids in our area get familiar with First Lego League. So it's basically like an introductory camp to FLL. So we host it a couple weeks before FLL starts to hopefully get more engagement and more growth to our teams. And then our big one is just MROC, our off-season event. We've had over 60 teams come in the past 3 years from different states and Wisconsin and stuff. So those are our main ones that we helped, but we're obviously continuing to grow and then expand our initiatives that we already have.
Okay, that's really nice. So you guys obviously went to Worlds. How was your experience individually? What do you takeaways or what shocked you? Anything?
I think for me personally, I think the biggest surprise and shock at the World Championship this year and last we've gone was just the amount of energy that there are in the stands comparatively. There's just so many more people and everyone's super engaged with the obviously super high level competition at Worlds, and it's really just amazing in my opinion.
For me, since we won First Impact last year, we were able to present at Champs, which was insane. It was so cool. And you get to go up to the 3rd floor, go to this secret private room and do it in front of judges. That was super awesome. And then just like the journey there was amazing. And then getting the payoff of seeing everything that big and then getting to compete. And then we got to make it to playoffs in both the years that we went, the last 2 years. So that was amazing to be able to like set up our pit in a different area and just go and experience like what we worked for so hard. So.
I think my favorite part was being able to walk around and see what other teams had spent their season doing. I really like being able to walk around the pits and collect buttons and watch whatever the teams had going on, whether they had like animations or videos or like just them overall working. Like I just really liked seeing what everyone else did to get them to the same spot that we were at.
So for each of you individually, what sparked interest in robotics for you?
For me, I was in marching band. So one of the older kids that was in marching band was also in robotics, and on my like first day of freshman year, they had like an open house style thing where they had their robot and they had everything. So he came over and showed me the big old robot, knowing I'd be interested in it, and that's what got me interested in FRC and being on Team 930.
For me, I started in FLL when I was younger, and I mainly did it because my older sister was doing it. It was like kind of like a family thing basically. So I started in FLL, did that for 3 years, and then continued to high school. And it was just that my sister was doing it, so I did it, and I've just continued with it. So yeah.
For me personally, coming out of COVID, I was really interested in programming and seeing the different events that our team did around the school. I thought that was the best way for me to really get involved with what I wanted to do in my future.
Have any of your alumni within your team pursued higher education in STEM-related majors or jobs?
Yeah, so a lot of our alumni have gone on to higher education, pursuing that kind of field. If I remember correctly, I think we have 85% of our alumni have gone on to higher education. Personally, mentors or like alumni mentors in the team, we have our lead mentor is working at TAPCO right now, and another mentor is has started working at Touchpad, and it's really great to see them like continue with STEM after graduating.
Which are all like engineering companies in our area.
Sorry.
If you're not familiar with those.
Nice. So those are all of our questions, but now it's like more open for if you guys have anything you want to ask. Anything about our team.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been a team?
I think we started in 2008. I think this is I remember 57 was 2 years ago, so 17 years. I think this is our 17th season. Yeah.
What got you guys interested in doing this like style of outreach and like this initiative in general?
Yeah. Nikhil?
Yeah, so basically we started like you're asking about this podcast, right? Right. Yeah. So we started this podcast because we wanted to be able to, connect to all different kinds of teams, That's why across the 50 states, we're trying to connect with one team from each state at least one team. So, we're trying to, share ideas, have different inputs and thoughts, and just, spread like, the team. Yeah, basically, yeah.
And just to learn more about how like teams operate in different areas of like our country, because we're from New York and we want to see like how teams operate in the Midwest or like in Texas. And like when we did interview teams all around, we learned like different ways they do things compared to how we do it here. So it was like inspiring in that way.
Cool. And then what other outreach initiatives do you guys do?
We do a lot. Our local initiatives, we have something very similar to you guys as Embark. We call it Regal Eagle Rampage, but it's more like a week 0 event. So we build like the practice field of that specific season, like last year Crescendo. So it's like we invite teams all across the tri-state area to come. They troubleshoot their robot, they practice. It's like, and we do like mock competitions, not really real competitions, but just to see how many points they can score, things like that. That's one of our biggest events. Another one is Regal Eagle Roundtables, where we, it's like a conference kind of in December we host, And each team can come up and talk about like a new initiative they started, they want to tell us about, or they want to advertise. So it's more like a conference type thing. We also have something called First Together. Anjali, do you want to talk about that?
So First Together is an initiative we started mainly to communicate with the teams in our area. So it's basically a Discord server where we communicate with any outreach initiatives that we're hosting, so like a car wash or a book drive or clothing drive or something around those lines. So it's just to connect with the teams in our area, like just during after kickoff, talking about what each team plans on doing and just sharing ideas and staying connected. So,
And then internationally, we do the sort of STEM Kids initiative. So we send STEM Kids to 13 countries so far around the world, and we have members who teach lessons there. We give them lesson plans to do. We started this last year, so it's still growing, of course, just like any initiative. But that's like one of our biggest things we do internationally. And of course, through this podcast as well, we've interviewed teams and learned more about them and helped them. But yeah, that's like a quick overview.
On the robot side of things, what do you think is the most unique part of your robot?
I mean, we definitely use like swerve drive and those kinds of stuff, and we're constantly getting new parts, which is a good thing for our robot, of course. Well, I'd also say, I mean, I don't know if you guys do you have a CNC? So obviously we use the CNC to make, a lot of the parts for a robot. Anjali, do you know of anything like specifically cool about a robot?
I think in design wise, what we do is we combine ideas from individual team members of whatever they have for after a kickoff, like we all come together and we discuss what design ideas we have, and then we put them together, and then through these like for example in the First Together or Chief Delphi, we see how other teams are doing it and we get a little bit of inspiration from that. So I think something unique maybe is that our team is a mashup of a lot of ideas.
Awesome. Have you guys been able to win First Impact?
Yes, we actually won it last year as well. So
Oh,
I was one of the
congrats.
presenters, and yeah, I feel the same way. It was so fun going up there, interviewing, like judging, and like presenting. It was nerve-wracking, of course.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, both of us, our presenters. Yeah, it was insane, but it was such a good experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anything?
All right. I am good. I don't know about you guys though.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else?
Okay. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining. We learned a lot about your team, and good luck for the season.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Bye.